Computer. Welcome, everybody. Happy Thursday, and welcome to Coffee and Miracles. I do this every week because I love to share all of the different miracles, because if we look for the miracles, if we keep finding the miracles, we're going to be able to live in joy. And so that's my passion for everybody. Part of health is up here. And in order to find the joy, because life down here, let's face it, it gets difficult. And so there are a lot of times where we need to really focus on the good and on the God, on what God has for us and on the good things and on the joy. And so today I'm bringing you a very special Coffee and Miracles, because tomorrow actually is the 7th anniversary of my life being saved. We had a confirmation that my life was saved. And it's a series of miracles. And I've shared parts of this story, but I'm going to share the whole story with you today, because tomorrow is my menopause anniversary. It is the 7th anniversary of me being done with, all the issues that I had. So I want to start at the beginning. So 24 years ago, I had my son, and I was almost 37, and I started having a lot more female problems. And so that time of the month was all month, all the time. And it was very painful and annoying. And but I wasn't doing anything about it because I didn't know there was anything I should or could be doing about it. Doctors never told me that I should have a hysterectomy or anything. It was just really difficult to live with for a lot of years. And I had found through, so what happened was I had some, so when I had my son, let me get this straight. It's a complicated story. So when I had my son, they had found that I had this huge fibroid tumor, which they told me would go away after he was born. And no, it didn't. But they said eventually it would go away, because as you get older, I was almost 37, as you go through perimenopause and menopause, you don't have enough hormones to keep that growing or alive, and it would disappear. So long about 7 years ago, or maybe 8 years ago, I was told by a new doctor that she wanted to go looking for this big, huge fibroid tumor. And I'm like, why are we looking for something that is gone? It's got to be gone. I am, not, I've got to have hardly any hormones left to keep it alive. And it's been many years since my son was born 7 years ago. He's 24 now. So they said, no, she said, no, I really want to go looking for this. And I thought, well, I don't want to spend this money. And I happened to be insured at that point. So she said, no, the insurance will cover it. And I'm like, I almost said no. I really almost said no. I talked to my husband, and he thought, no, why are we doing this? But last minute we did, okay, she insisted, and my husband and I both agreed. And so they went looking for this thing. I think they did an ultrasound. And of course, they didn't find it. And I thought, oh, okay. And they told me, but what we did find is a cyst on my ovary. It was actually entwined in my ovary, so they could not remove just the cyst. They had to remove the whole ovary. And so I went in and I had that surgery, one of my 9 surgeries that I've had. And they removed it. Well, the surgeon decided, she called an audible. She decided she was going to remove not just my ovary, but the fallopian tube as well. And her words, because cancer likes to hide. And she thought maybe, the reason that she wanted to remove the cyst is because that kind of cyst, I believe it was a solid, can become cancerous. So she said, cancer likes to hide. We're going to take the whole thing out. And I'm like, okay, I'm not using it. I'm not having any more kids. My last kid's 24. Go ahead. So she took that out. And afterward, I got a call from the surgeon. And that's never a good sign when you get a call from the, usually it's the doctor's office that calls you, but when it's the actual doctor that calls you, this is not a good sign. And she said, we found cancer. And I'm like, what? I'm not sick. I don't feel bad. I mean, other than having the female issues that I had nothing. And she said, no, this is fallopian tube cancer. It's very rare. We found it, actually, she said, we found it in its infancy. It was precancerous cells. So it wasn't even cancer. But she said, we have to remove everything else, total radical hysterectomy, because fallopian tube cancer is very rare. It is extremely aggressive. And she didn't think it actually started in the fallopian tube. And I thought, again, another surgery right after? No, I don't. Do we really need to do this? And she's like, yeah, we have to absolutely make sure that the cancer was not there because it spread from somewhere else. And I couldn't understand. I mean, maybe doctors out there know how it could jump from one organ to another and not travel. I don't know, but that's what she said. And so I'm okay. So I went in and they removed everything. And I remember them saying to me, I know, this is a difficult surgery. Most women are upset about not having their reproductive pieces, parts. And I'm like, hey, I've spent years dealing with female, take them all out. I've had my two kids. My kids are amazing. Take it all out. I don't care. But they were very careful with my feelings, which is very sweet. But for me, it was like a head. And I had it removed 7 years ago tomorrow. And when they did the biopsy of all of the different pieces, parts, they found no cancer anywhere. Through a series of incredible miracles, and one of the biggest one is the fact that I was actually insured, because this would have been way more money than we would have had. I mean, thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars. And to have these separate surgeries and the doctor's follow-ups and all, I mean, so I'm alive today because of all of these things that take place. So if any one of those things I think had not happened, I would not be here. They would never have found the cancer. And I was like the talk of the hospital when they wheeled me out. People were like, oh, you're the one. Because most women do not survive fallopian tube cancer because it's found too late. Once you actually have symptoms, it's too late, usually, to cure the woman, and she will die. And so Lord gave me all kinds of incredible experiences, things that happened just the right time. And we were insured and all these things in order to save my life. So I am here today because of God's miracles. And tomorrow is the 7th anniversary where we knew for sure that I was indeed cancer-free and I didn't need to worry about it anymore. So that's what I wanted to bring you today on Coffee with Miracles. I love to have my coffee, and it's so much fun to enjoy coffee while you're thinking about the things that God has done for you. And he's done so much for me. I am still here. My kids have me, my husband has me, and I am able to help other people. And I do that through my health coaching, and I help people get healthy. And so I'm all about health in every which way. And so I just had to come share that with you today and celebrate and thank God that everything happened just the way it did. And I'm still here, so celebrating today and tomorrow, the official date tomorrow. And thanks for celebrating with me. And I'll talk to you soon.